XRP Future Millionaire. And as you can see, the crypto market's starting to reverse back down. This update, we'll get into crypto, but first I want to start out with the little commodities update and fuel cell. I put out a buy alert on fuel cell at $4.92 on my Twitter and in my Telegram, and I have the stop loss set for everybody. So if you guys were just following my Twitter, which 509 of you do, which I'm blessed, I put out for fuel cell buy 492 stop loss 481 or 492 stop loss 481. I have 540 shares at $4.92, and those are the parameters I'm using. This company produces the hydrogen fuel cell, and they have the exclusive patent to what they do with this technology. So it's something big, and eventually this is going to get going here again. It was up over $25 a share at one point, but this looks to have a firm bottom down here. The reason why we're taking the $5.81 stop loss is because it very well could still come down a little bit farther if it were to break this area. And yes, I came in a little bit more aggressive because I've been watching it, and I'll show you guys how it looks in the 30-minute. But if it were to break, yeah, it's actually like right here. If it breaks that $4.81, there really is no reason to be in there, because then you would have broke through that double bottom, and then we'd have to go even farther, which that could bring us down to the accumulation zone in a pretty quick and swift fashion down to 240. Where is that at? It's about here, about 249. So, you know, you could get cut in half if we break through this support level. That's why it's so critical, but that's why I also think there's going to be a rebound here before we were to go down farther. So if we look at the 30-minute time frame on fuel cell, you can see we have an inverted head and shoulders. And that's what caught my attention, obviously. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, equal to this baseline. That's why I'm willing to give it time to run here in case it overextends. And then we should at least get a bounce up to here, minimum. And yeah, it's like, oh, well, what kind of bounce is that from $4.92, you dick? Well, I mean, that's 10.5% to there. But then if we break out, we've got 20% to 591. And then if we break out of this region and we actually do finish off a cup and handle, which a lot of times, that's what fuel cell does in a very quick and swift motion. You're talking about $6.31 before before your possible upside is capped if we can break 544. And we get up here, that's 21%. But I would say a move up to here is what we're looking for on an extended wick up here. So 34% correction we could be looking at if the broader markets hold. If this inverted head and shoulders holds in the 30-minute, we're looking real good. So we've been waiting very patiently. But like I said, use that $4.81 stop loss because you don't want to get caught with your pants down here. Because we do have a 50% correction that is possible, or 42% roughly, if we break past this support level. And that is no joke. So it is an aggressive trade, but it does look like we're on an inverted head and shoulders here after coming off a M-topping reversal back to support. And now it looks like the classic inverted head and shoulders, but it could be a fake out. So that's why we always have the stop loss down. Like I said, it's still early. If you're going to try to take a ride on this, this is the exact area you want to be in. I've got a stop loss for about a 2.3% stop loss. And the reason for that is I'm willing to ride it 15 cents down, even though I bought it at $4.92. So I'm willing to ride it 12 cents down because that is the prototypical area before it falls through there to the accumulation zone. So if it holds that, we're looking at a nice pump, 10 to 32% minimum. We get at least 10. I know some of you bought B2 Gold, which I did as well. We talked about B2 Gold. We talked about if it got rejected by $3.70, we would decide from there. And I decided to take my fuel cell, or my B2 Gold, for no other reason than I'm trying to buy, expand this a little bit into there. So I still have some B2 Gold in case this rides up. I still got about $1,200, but I put $2,600 of my money on the fuel cell. And then I've got GPL that I did not sell that I'm holding from 21 cents. I bought it right at the 2101. I told you guys when to buy it. Actually, it wasn't 2101. I bought it on this side, 2111. And I wrote it up from there. And in like 2 days, we up over 10, 11%. We talked about this on the show. I was up 13% this morning. Now we're looking at about 10%. We're trying to see if we can hold this formation here on the 30-minute time frame. And this would be an extremely bullish move. We broke out in a bullish way of this cup and handle. And I'm going to show you why. If you have this, you do not sell. Cup and handle, retested. Now, if we hold this, you're looking at a skyrocket up to about 28 cents. And we're coming off a beautiful double bottom. I mean, this looks very bullish. We had a sell-off in GPL, Great Panther Mining, of about, you guys know, we had that mining collapse with the storm, and look what happened. This was after it had already collapsed a little bit. I told you guys we'd wait until we got 58% savings just from October 18th. I mean, you can't make that up. In 3 months, we saved 58%. We talked about this, and I told you Q1 is where we have to focus, and we're in quarter one, and that's why I'm back in. I got 8,885 shares for about $2,000. A little bit under that. I think I dropped 1,900 or 1,950 on 8,800. And the cool thing is I only had 3,500 shares with about $2,500 or $2,700 invested in the GPL when it was much higher at like 75 cents. I rode GPL from... That's the thing, guys. Like, even though it's down 52% or 48%, that's not what it's actually down the entire way. I rode this from here back in 2020 all the way up to here with my brother into early 2021, and we made a hell of a profit. We didn't make all 335, but we made 100% here. We didn't buy it at 26, though. That was where we got killed. We got it up here at about 65 after we completed this inverted head and shoulders, which is what we're doing with fuel cell. Looks exactly like this. We're starting to look like this. So yeah, we rode it. We made 100 and something percent on it. It was fantastic. It got rejected at $1.15, and look how far it's come down from $1.15. This is how big of a savings we've gotten. You're talking 82% we've saved. Oh, not 82. I'm going to do it exactly from where I bought it. Yeah, we're saved over 81.8%, almost 82%. So just a correction back up to where it was at is 82% on the drop. But for us, see how that dropped 81%? But look, because we bought it way down here. So yeah, it dropped. For anybody who has it, they're down 81%. But if you would have been knowledgeable and dropped it like I did and waited to recover it, now instead of having to recover 81%, you've now allowed yourself to make 447%, which means my $2,000 would turn into an excess of $9,000, $10,000 actually, because I would make $9,000 on top of the two, so I'd have $11,000 if this just gets back to even. These are the kind of plays that I like, I embrace, and I will never sell. This is a price with GPL that you don't sell. It's that simple. You don't sell. This is in the accumulation zone. It went all the way back and retraced 81%. And if it goes down, God bless it. So this is something that could be very intriguing. I'm not saying it's going to go all the way up right now, but I am saying it's got a chance to come up to the 30 or the 4-hour time frame if it does this reversal properly. And we are in Q1, and there's no way we're going to have that bad of earnings like we did. So they're starting to get things back in order, starting to get things moving. So I expect an update sometime in February or March that's really going to exacerbate this price increase. So get in now when nobody else is. This is the time you get in. When nobody wants it is the time you get in. The Dow's up 140 points. It seems to be working on an inverted head and shoulders in the 30-minute. So that's another reason why I was okay buying fuel cell. Yes, it could be a fake out. But you can see, right? If you want to start it from here after the reversal, we had that, came down, created an inverted head, right shoulder, and now we seem to be bullish up and try to retest this area. Now, are we going to ride there or bounce down? I don't know. But on the 30-minute time frame, we're absolutely bullish in the Dow Jones today. Unless we break through the 30 minutes. So that can allow us to have some price increases on Friday. So that's what we're watching for. The Dow Jones, the U.S. dollar currency index, which is the U.S. dollar. We're looking like we continue to the downside, but now we could have a little bit of a reversal up. The U.S. dollar's been getting beaten, as we know. So now would be the logical time to have a little bit of a correction up to, maybe back up to 95, 96 to get rejected. And that's where you would know if you create something like that or if you just fall through. So expect a little instability here with the dollar. We could come down to accumulation zones at 93, 92. But we're looking for a rebound to a little bit of a move up to about here. So nothing much, but just to get rejected or come top side of this and then make a move and then come probably farther down. US dollar index is in some trouble here. Crude oil is very bullish. It's on a little bit of a retracement trying to finish off this first cup and handle, which it did. We finished off 2 of them. Success, success. Now we're coming up to the third one. If we get top side of this, it's over. That's why I put this on, and we did exactly what I called for. Exactly to a T when I covered crude oil about a week or 2 ago. It came right up, bounced that 76.80 like I thought it would, and I even created the yellow line to show where it would have to bounce to stay bullish, and it did exactly that. So time tested, best in the business on the charts. Gold 1816. We're trying to see if we can remain this bullish thesis. I don't know if it's going to because it rounded the top and came below the 30-minute, which is a key indicator that we might have failed this cup and handle. Because when you break through the 30-minute on a cup and handle, traditionally, if you can't pull back up immediately, that's showing you a sign of a reversal. And to me, gold's not ready to just skyrocket yet. We're waiting for little future things to happen, and I could see a retest of this part right here before we finally continue on. So I just think it would be a good spot to revalidate unless we hold a 30-minute time frame, then get all over that. If we hold that, we're obviously extremely bullish. So that's what I'd be looking for gold. And then silver, same thing. We created this cup. Now if we can hold the 30-minute time frame, we're going to push further and hit here and then here. So commodities are looking really strong. We just have to look for a retrace here because I'm not sure we're ready before Basel 3 to get up to 2,000 or 2,500 and then further. Same thing with silver. I don't think we're ready to get to $30 yet or 25 or 26. So I think the most logical thing is we're probably going to retrace. And then I wanted to cover Fortuna Silver Mines because it's my baby. Fortuna looks like it's hitting this reversal here again. And it came up. It's getting rejected by the 100-day. I expect this to come back down and maybe double bottom at 285. It has to. It has to double bottom, which is why I think gold and silver is likely retracing. And then for Fortuna Silver Mines, I will buy this on the double bottom at $2.92. And I probably won't sell it forever, but if I do, it would be not until it rides back to the symmetrical triangle, which is a 101% profit. And that's going to happen probably in Q1, early Q2. So once it hits that retrace 292, don't say I didn't tell you. So that's what I wanted to show you in commodities. And Commerce Resource. We talked about the accumulation that it was going through. I do have some Commerce Resource at the bottom of the triangle at 1577, as you guys know. I'm up 26% right now, and this is not something I'm willing to sell unless it breaks down and doesn't prove 1996 as a hold. But look how perfect that symmetrical triangle was, ladies and gentlemen. Best in the business. I may not share this, but I'm the best in the business for a reason. And then we're going to go to fuel cell after, as it's made its way back to $5. So it's up about 1.4% since the buy alert. It was a great spot to buy on a bounce. It's just, I don't know if it's going to hold. That's why we have such a tight stop loss. Bitcoin, and you can actually move that stop loss up if you would like to your buy area now at $4.92 if you bought there. I know it's a tighter stop loss, but that is where I would probably put it now that we had the spike to 5. Because now if it comes down to $4.92 again, it'll probably just fall through. So Bitcoin's down $605 or 1.37%. You got XRP down 2.2 cents or 2.80%. It's still undervalued by 4 cents to XLM, so it's undervalued by about 5% compared to XLM. So if you're going to buy one or the other, right now XRP would be the way to go. You have a very heavy resistance at 79.7 or about 80 cents, but 79.7. I told you yesterday with that close on the daily under 80 cents, it was going to make it volatile to the downside unless we could find the support again at 75, which we very well might have held this area. So because we're coming to the top side of my inverted wedge, inside out wedge, if you want to call it. So, but it does look like we started rounding the top, so that is something to pay attention to. We got the Bitcoin options expiring tomorrow, 42,000. If it's under 42,000, 75 million is made by the bears. If it's at 44,000 or lower, the bulls are completely wiped on their call options. They're worthless. If we're over 46 to 47,000, the bulls make 125 million and the bears will be left out of the money. Right now, it looks like the bears are winning. I would expect the options to expire 42,000 or less just based on market sentiment and what came out with the Fed. We have a CPI of 7%, but if you had the true housing prices, not what we think the housing prices should be, and it was actually based on housing prices, we'd be well over 10% on the CPI. So if it was based at 1982, which we're at the highest level since 1982, the biggest increase in 1 year. But we should be 30% higher if we base the CPI the exact same way with real housing prices instead of consumer equivalent housing prices, which means whatever consumers think that the equivalent of housing and rent should be is the number that the CPI uses, not the actual housing price and rent increase. So the housing price equivalent rent and equivalent rent went up 3.5% in the eyes of the people who thought. You want to know what it actually went up? 16% in 2021. But they used 3.5%. Why would they use that fantasy number so that the CPI can be at 7% instead of 10.1%? You heard it here first. Go listen to Peter Schiff. He'll explain all of this to you. So that's what I wanted to show there. Now I want to touch fuel cell real quick, and then we'll get back to the chart and see where fuel cell's at when I log off, because even though it was at $5, we got to see if it can hold this level. But so I put the buy alert out, but we're going to see. Let's hit this intro, and then we're going to read that fuel cell so you guys can get a little more accustomed to it. Welcome back, everybody. 16 minutes in, and we finally do the intro. Okay, so what I wanted to read to you guys is Fuel Cell Energy Inc. Fuel cell stock. What does the chart say Thursday? Overall market sentiment has been neutral on fuel cell energy. Fuel cell stock lately. Fuel cell receives a neutral rating from Investors Observer. So what is stock sentiment? We already know this. I read it to you all the time. So what's happening with fuel cell stock today? Fuel cell energy stock is trading at $4.93 as of 10:52 a.m. on Thursday, January 13th. A drop of 14 cents or 2.86% from the previous closing from 507. The stock has traded between $4.92 and $5.20 so far today. And we had the buy alert at $4.92, which is at the bottom, 100% bottom right now. Volume today is below average so far, 6,032,000. Shares have traded compared to average volume of 24.1 million, which to me it seems like it's getting ready for a squeeze. More about Fuel Cell Energy. Fuel Cell Energy Inc. is a fuel cell power company. Fuel Cell designs, manufactures, sells, installs, operates, and services fuel cell products, which efficiently convert chemical energy into fuel into electricity through a series of chemical reactions. It serves various industries such as industrial wastewater treatment, commercial and hospitality, data centers and communications, education and healthcare, and others. Geographically, the company generates a majority of its revenue from the United States, followed by South Korea. And they do have the patent on the fuel cell, on the hydrogen fuel cell, which Elon Musk is trying to partner with fuel cell. So if that ever happens, look out. So fuel cell's up to $5.01. We talked about the $4.91 buy, or $4.92. We also talked about the $4.81 stop loss. So right now we're trading between a range of 481 and 544. But to break out of this thesis right here, to get a little more bullish, we got to break 526. It's that simple. Actually, it's a little bit lower than that. Got to break $5.21. I hope this update helped. Make sure you're paying attention to each and every step, and hit that like button.